Come in, take a seat wherever you'd like. Now, what can I get for you today? You want a bravely default custom whatsisk? Sir, this is a Wendy's. Please be normal for just 5 minutes. Yeah, we're doing this again. Surely one of these will kickstart the drive to actually review other people's submissions. I guess I just worry over them for no reason. But no time for that nonsense. I have a new job idea that popped into my head recently. After playing Honkai Star Rail and getting the Trailblazers Preservation form, which serves as a taunt tank.
We made a choice, go fight against your fate!
The lyrics! This is so fucking based. I love this. And then watching clips of Kitchen Nightmares and Chef on Netflix. Yes, I have now seen Chef. It was good. My brain started cooking. I actually like to cook, and I felt like the patissier from second didn't quite hit the mark for me as a cooking-based class. I guess baking is more accurate, but that's besides the point. I wanted a little more flavor, both metaphorically and physically within the class itself. And even though I knew I'd have to make it a consumable-based class, something I have stated repeatedly that I don't particularly enjoy very often, my brain just would not let this idea go until I fleshed it out. And so, I tossed this together over a few days and decided to plate it up for you, dear viewers. The Chef is meant to be an aggro-drawing counterattack class that cooks up delicious food to attract certain enemy types. Now before we get into what abilities the class has, we need to go over how dishes and ingredients work. Don't worry, I kept it super simple. There are 8 types of ingredients for the Chef, 1 for every enemy type in Bravely Default 2. We've got flour, pepper, sea salt, meat, sugar, fruit, vegetable, and milk. To create a dish, you combine 2 ingredients together and then select a serving size. The first ingredient selected determines the base of the dish and what kind of enemy it attracts. So if you choose meat first, you'll attract beast-type enemies. If you choose pepper, you'll catch the attention of demons, and so on and so forth. The second ingredient adds a flavor on top of the dish, and that is the type of counterattack you'll perform when an enemy attacks you after being aggroed by the dish. So for instance, if I choose flour and then fruit, I will make tangy noodles that attract humanoid enemies and deal lightning damage to them when they attack me. Now dishes can only last so long, so that's where the final part of the cooking method comes in, serving size. Depending on the size you pick, which costs MP, your dish will last through more attacks. So a small dish will only last for 1 enemy attack, but a large will stay around for up to 3 hits. Reminder, this only applies to single target attacks and abilities. Party-wide attacks will not reduce your dish's duration. You can also only have 1 dish active at a time. If you make another dish, it will replace the currently active one. Now that we have the main component of the job explained, let's get to the abilities. Specialty 1 is Pay the Bill. When you take damage from an enemy that finishes a dish, you receive Peeg equal to the shop value of one of that dish's ingredients. Specialty 2, Respect the Hat. While you have a dish active, all single target damage you take is reduced by 15%. The special is Table for 4, fully restore all allies MP, then gain Peeg equal to the MP restored. It buffs your physical defense by 30% and requires you to use cooking 15 times beforehand. Level 1 is Cooking. Combine 2 ingredients to create a dish that increases the chance of certain enemies targeting you. This is exactly what I explained earlier, so we can move on. Level 2, Sharpening, 15 MP. Increase physical attack by 7% for 2 turns. This increase is doubled if you have a dagger equipped. Level 3, Mise en Place, a 9 MP, search for ingredients. This works just like Forage. Level 4, Marketplace, spend P to buy an ingredient. Level 5, Flambe for 42 MP. Deal fire damage across random enemies 2 to 4 times. Has a chance to inflict burn. The target occasionally takes fire damage until the status effect wears off, or they take water damage. Dealing wind damage to a burning target has a chance of extending the effect. Level 6 is From Farm to Fork. For 25 MP, deal physical damage to a single target. Defeating an enemy with this ability will grant you an ingredient that corresponds with the enemy's type. Level 7, Something Smells Good. 38 MP. Deal wind damage across random enemies 2 to 4 times. Has a chance to inflict charm. Level 8 is the first passive, It's on the House. When using items on allies, you have a 25% chance to not consume the item in the process. Level 9, No Free Refills, 46 MP. Deal water damage across random enemies 2 to 4 times, and receive Peeg equal to 2% of the total damage dealt. Level 10, Lunch Rush. Another passive, whenever you use an item or the cooking or compounding commands, increase your physical defense by 5% until your next turn. Level 11, Coup de Gravy. For 1 BP, the next time an enemy attack finishes a dish, your counterattack deals 3 times as much damage. Level 12, Seconds Please. For 52 MP. For the next 2 turns, when you counterattack from an attack that targeted you with a dish active, counter a second time. Level 13, Butcher. For 48 MP. Deal moderate physical damage to a single target 4 to 6 times. Level 14, Ruined Meal, passive. Dishes you create now have a 10% chance to turn out burned. Burned dishes greatly increase the chance of all types of enemies targeting you, and has a chance to apply Berserk to any enemies that hit you while the burned dish is active. And finally, level 15, Family Meal. For 55 MP. Until your next turn, when you counterattack from an attack that targeted you with a dish active, hit all enemies of the attacking enemy's type in combat. So if an undead enemy does a basic attack on you with a cheese dish active, your counterattack hits all undead combatants in combat. So, how do I rate my own job? Being entirely honest, I'm extremely happy with the flavor angle. I think I really got the luring in customers with good smelling food aspect with it. However, I think if I saw this class in-game, I'm not sure how much I would use it. It has very minimal tank-esque features for actual defense, meaning you probably have to supplement the chef with an actual tank class and just use the cooking to make you more effective. It's also got the old ranger problem with being focused on one enemy type at a time, but at least with ranger it was a one and done. With the chef, you're kind of just waiting for the enemy of choice to get pulled towards you, while the others continue to go after your team. However, on the flip side, this class will probably work well in a boss fight setting where you have only 1 or 2 targets max generally, so you will pull almost all the attacks you need to. But because almost 90% of the bosses in BD2 are humanoids, you're just gonna be using the same dish over and over, which is admittedly a little bland. Flavor and style-wise, A tier, but utility, probably B or C. Now I leave it to you to decide. Is this chef concept to your liking, or did this need more time in the oven? Leave your comment down below, I want to know your thoughts. As for your bill, the total comes to 1 like and a subscribe. Hey! Where do you think you're going? Did you really think you could dine and dash on me? That's it, you're going in the soup pot!